Hello, everyone. Part 2 of Development Diary number 7 about diplomacy and international relations. Am I correct? Let me go up. Yes, sir. That's right. So yeah, that's the part 2 of the analysis of Dev Diary, Development Diary related with Europa Universalis 5, of course. Let's continue reading. So we finished here about subjects now. So let's see what you have. Now I see that we have a few, to say the least, about subjects. In EU5, there are multiple types of subjects. The five main types are. Are there any other types then? If you say that those are main types, okay. Tributaries, a country that is forced to pay a period tribute to their overlord in the forms of ducats. Manpower and sailors. Tributes can declare their own wars or even declare war on another tributary. They may join their overlord's wars, but it is not guaranteed and is the choice of the subject. The tributary gets protection from their overlord in return. Tributaries cannot be diplomatically annexed by their overlords. Okay, so that sucks a little. Uh, Usually, I think we want to have subjects which can be at some point annexed. That's usually the end goal of having subjects. Uh, but okay, maybe there is some actual way of using them effectively. I'm also quite curious whether you can switch, I mean, change type of your subject, like from tributary to, I don't know, vassal or fiefdom, whatever. That's the question. Okay, so the second subject is colonial subjects. A subject centered around the administration of overseas colonies on behalf of its overlord. They benefit from increased population capacity, institutions spread from their overlord, and the ability to use slaves to work in their RGOs even if their religion does not allow it. These subjects grant their overlord an upsurge of trade advantage as well as payment in manpower, sailors, and the ducats. They will join their overlord's offensive and defensive wars. These subjects cannot be diplomatically annexed. Okay, so that's another type of subject which cannot be annexed. Fair enough. Um, but I believe that there is some usage of it. Now, question is, how effective is that? I mean, is it better to keep colonies as your own country, or just release colonial subject or create colonial subject and get more out of it? That's a great question. And now think about Great Britain releasing United States of America as a I mean, sorry, these were actually colonies then, back then called. So yeah, interesting. Dominions, a subject nation that is a self-governed subject exclusive for monarchies who have the same religious group, nations with the same primary culture, nations with kindred cultures, or for the nations of England or Great Britain. Huh? Why is England and Great Britain mentioned? Nations with kindred cultures or for the nations of England or Great Britain. Okay. This subject enjoys an increase in their efficiency of cabinet, and outside of England, Great Britain can only be made when nations are already in union international organization with each other. These subjects always join both defensive and offensive wars and can be diplomatically annexed after 100 years. Shit, man. That's 1/5 of the available years in a game. I believe something like that, 1/5 or 1/4. Okay. Vassals. The most typical type of subject, the vassal oversees its territory on behalf of its overlord, paying a vassal fee. Overlords benefit from vassals in terms of prestige increase compared to other subject types and giving both nations, the subject and overlord, better shared institutions. Vassals will always join both defensive and offensive wars, but when disloyal, can be separately pieced out of wars. They can also declare independence through an independence movement international organization if they are disloyal for long periods of times, maybe with other disloyal subjects and rival nations joining this independence movement international organizations. Uh, yeah, okay. Vassals can be diplomatically annexed after 10 years only. Okay, that's cool. I assume that's gonna be the most common type of a subject, uh, alongside colonial subjects. I guess. Fiefdoms, that's the last type of a mentioned subject. Fiefdoms are a junior title that is the property of its overlord's ruler, exclusive for monarchies of the same religious group of one another. These subjects differ from vassals in that they have more loyalty and cannot directly declare independence. However, they come at a much larger diplomatic capacity cost than vassals. Fiefdoms can diplomatically annex after 10 years, which is the same as vassals. So, what's the main difference? Let's see. These subjects differ from vassals in that they have more loyalty and cannot directly declare independence. Okay, so I would call them vassals on steroids, which sounds stupid. I mean, they are kind of vassals which cannot declare independence. So they are some type of slaves to you. And I assume they are just fine with that. So, yeah. But of course, at the cost of larger diplomatic capacity. Now, question is how big is that difference? Because I guess that at some point, uh, it's actually worth it to take fiefdoms just because they cannot declare independence. Who knows? You can directly interact with any of your subjects diplomatically, but also can interact with them using the Manage Subjects interaction screen under the Diplomatic tab, allowing you to see all subjects' loyalty, opinion, and liberty desire, and allowing you to choose their military stance from the choice of normal, aggressive, supportive, passive, and defensive. And that's another map mode we have in game, which is, I assume, very useful. That looks awesome. Of course, there is so many informations available. This is France. So, yeah, France, as far as I understand, has a lot of vassals. Then, yeah, I mean, there is a lot of information available. But it looks very, very nice. Maybe because it looks complex and that's why it's so appealing, who knows? But definitely, there's plenty of information. So we have some income from them. Well, what else we have? We have, of course, manpower provided. This is their stance, I guess. For example, County of Ventardou. This is, I don't know, like aggressive stance. Here we have defensive stance. Duchy of Valentinois. What else we have here? There's opinion, I believe, and some other elements I cannot understand right now. So yeah, that's it. How you manage your subject is a strategic choice. Many options are available to you whether you want your subject to attach to your armies, supportive, or focus on defending territory, defensive. Oh, I assume this is the supportive stance. Oh yes, of course it's supportive stance because it's here, the center of the screen. Yeah. Okay. It is also in the screen where you can change the name of colonial subjects to anything you wish. Oh. Okay. Fair enough. This does not include nation and region unique subject. Wait a second. This is the continuation of that. Okay, so that's the information of what we can do with our subjects. Does not include this does not include nation and region unique subjects available to only some nations and regions in EU5, such as the Indian Samanta, the French Apanage, or the Middle Kingdom Tusi subjects. These are just some of the unique subjects that you will see while playing Europa Universalis 5, each with their own abilities, bonuses, and setbacks. Okay, here we have Great U1. Manage subjects, create subjects. Wait a second. Is that the amount of subjects they have? 125? And they can actually create 384 subjects? Jesus Christ. How huge you are. Man. Great Yuan starts with 125 subjects, from Tusi subjects, standard vassals to autonomous tributaries. My lord. That's gonna be painful to manage that country. I mean, if you start a game as Great Yuan, I believe your first a few days of playthrough will be focused entirely on managing your vassals, or at least to find out who is who and how to manage them. and who is going to declare war on you or declare independence, whatever. But this is huge. Look at that, dear Lord. And imagine that they also have relations between each other. So let's assume that you support one of them because you want to have higher support of them, and then you realize that actually they don't like each other, and the guy here next to him is now angry at you because you supported that guy. I don't know. I mean, if that's how it works, that's gonna be pain. But it's cool. It's really a challenge for experienced players. I believe it's very nice. Okay, every subject has a subject loyalty towards their overlord, ranging from 0 to 100. Once it is below 50, the subject will become a disloyal subject. Disloyal subjects will not aid in wars, only protecting their own land, can be separately pieced out, and can be diplomatically annexed. Loyalty of subjects can be increased with trust, diplomatic reputation, and improved relations. While loyalty can be decreased by liberty desire, your subjects being more powerful than you, and negative relations. Playing as a subject nation, you can use a cabinet action to reduce loyalty to your overlord with the sow disloyalty cabinet action. Okay. Liberty desire represents a subject's current drive for independence from its overlord. This value ranges from -100 to +100, but it has a monthly decay towards 0. Liberty desire can also be used as a subject currency, with some actions such as enforcing culture, diverting trade, or siphoning their income costing liberty desire. Fair enough. So, in whatever spectrum we are, whether we are on -100 or +100, +100, that's gonna always tend to 0, right? To balance. Okay? Siphon income. They will lose decades, gain 20 liberty desire, and we gain money from them. Nice. Rightfully repurposing your subject's income cost at the cost of 20 liberty desire. Okay, fair enough. For some subjects, you may want to integrate them eventually. Different subjects will need more time to begin the integration processes, but all subjects will need 190 opinion to start integrating, and above 125 relations must be maintained while doing the integration process. 190 opinion, I believe that's the same value as in Imperator Rome, as far as I remember. I didn't know that it actually have to be kept above 125 relations. Is that the case in Imperator Rome as well? I mean, this is cool because it's not like, okay, I'm waiting for 190, it's 190, and then I clicked annex and that's it, and then I'm waiting for annexation. It's quite important to keep relations good, which is very nice. Okay. Diplomatically annexing a subject will cost 0.10 diplomats monthly, and the speed in which you integrate them varies depending on how many cities, towns, rural settlement locations they have, with cities and towns costing more diplomatic annexation cost than the rural locations. The diplomatic annexation process can be further increased by having the same primary culture as your vassal, having higher cultural influence than your subject's cultural tradition, being much bigger than your subject, and advances. That's quite straightforward, I believe. Integrating this Yonpu subject with 14 million pops and 41 cities is going to take some time. Absolutely. Annexing Sultanate of Yonpu. My god, how much time that's gonna take? Oh, it says that's gonna be finished first of May 1817, and it's already in half. So, dear Lord, how many years it took? Jesus. Yeah, that's massive. Bharati Empire. Okay, it's very interesting. Um, Personal unions are no longer considered subject, but instead an international organization, which we'll cover later in this development diary. Fair enough. Okay, let's continue. The next one is Casus Belli. But what is diplomacy without its breaking points? Sometimes the only option left for a country in EU5 is to declare war. Yeah, only option. Well, debatable. I would say this is the first option you consider. This is where creating and using a casus belli, or CB for short, of course CB, we cannot call it casus belli, it's taking too much time. Casus belli, CB, comes into play. The option to create spy networks at the cost of diplomats is there, allowing you to create a certain Casus Belli, CBs, but usually none of the CBs you can make before the Age of Revolutions will be that potent for conquest. Wait a second. But usually none of the Casus Bellis you can make before the Age of Revolutions will be that potent for conquest. For the most part, your parliament will have to be used to make a conquest CB through the prepare for war action at the cost of 50% parliamentary support. Oh, okay. So there are two ways to create Casus Bellis, right? So one is creating the spy network, but it says that it's hard to actually do it before Age of Revolutions. Okay. Maybe I get it wrong. Whatever, but that's one of the ways. And the other way is to ask your parliament to create Casus Belli against your potential enemy. Fair enough, but it's for 50% parliamentary support. Is that a lot? 50% sounds like quite a bit. What do we have here? We have Archduchy of Austria. And what we have, prepare for war, asking land tech to approve a war by giving us a legitimate Casus Belli. By the way, it's cool that this is called the land tech, not the parliament, but land tech, which corresponds with Austria, of course, or German-speaking nations in general. I assume that in Prussia it can be Reichstag. Who knows? We will choose a country to get a dubious claims on province Casus Belli. Okay, dubious claims on province. Fair enough. We lose 50% support in land tech. What's the penalty for that, though? That's the question. Are there any other ways to actually form Casus Belli? The prepare for war parliament action will be the primary way to create conquest Casus Bellis before the Age of Revolutions. Okay. So after Age of... I mean, when we get to Age of Revolutions, we will have some more options. And that's what I like about that game, that... it changes over time, which is huge. So, I mean, of course, this is based only on those development diaries. I don't know how it looks, in fact, in the game. But based on that, what we have here, you can actually see that, yeah, there are some options at the very beginning. And then when we play more and more, the time passes. And then we have another options available because we have... new tools, there are some new events, and actually the world changes. So that's very nice. That's very nice. I like it. Outside of Parliament, you can get events or use certain situation actions to get claims for conquest. That's obvious. I mean, that was quite clear to me. So, Rise of the Turks, that's some kind of event. It's 1337, by the way. And what's that? Main actions: press claims, raise a bay fortress, inspect fortifications, invite Turkic migration, create Ukbe. Have no idea what's that. Press claims. Anatolia is under threat by outside powers, the remnants of the once great empires that ruled these lands I have no idea how to pronounce it. For power. It is up to us to unite them under our banner. And grants a claim against the province in Anatolia or the Balkans. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is the cost of it? 735 ducats? What is it? Okay. The rise of the Turk situation has an available action for the strongest Turkish beylik, allowing them to create Casus Bellis at the cost of ducats. Yeah, that's those are ducats. Fair enough. Besides conquest, other Casus Bellis can be made using a spy network. These Casus Bellis range from disrupting trade, humiliating a rival, declaring on an excommunicated ruler, or dealing with piracy. Each Casus Belli comes with a war goal and bonuses to war score depending on certain objectives such as winning naval or land battles. Okay. In the Age of Revolution in 1737, which is quite late, especially that we started 1337, which is 300 years later. Okay. The imperialism, Casus Belli is unlocked. Damn, that's cool. Allowing you to create wars of conquest using a spy network. This Casus Belli varies to a normal conquest Casus Belli in that it reduces war score cost, allowing you to take huge swaths of land from a single peace deal. Nice. That's very nice. Maybe that's another incentive to not stop playing before 18th century. Maybe that's also the reason why Europa Universalis 4 was let's call it a little bit flat. So the start was nice, but then people really didn't want to finish the campaign because it got boring for them in most cases. Here we can actually see that there are some new tools appearing when you play longer, which I've already mentioned. That's a massive incentive, at least for me. It's like I want to continue the game because well, something new will happen and something I haven't touched yet. So that's very nice. Again, question how it really looks like. I mean, maybe that's only some type of impression that there are new tools, new mechanics unlocking when you play. Uh, Maybe it's just empty and basically it's still the same with different package. Who knows? I mean, I know who knows. Most of the content creators knows. Um, Unless you are in an international organization like the Holy Roman Empire or the Tatar Yoke, the option to declare war without a casus belli is possible, costing some stability and antagonism gain. No casus belli wars use the show superiority war score, relying on winning battles to gain more war score. What casus bellis you use in your wars will shape your peace deals and how you generate war scores, so remember to choose wisely. Fair enough. So the next is antagonism. How much is left? Believe that's gonna be the third part. Yeah, that's gonna be the third part. I have already 22 minutes, so let's finish here. Okay. In short, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully see you in the next one where we'll finish that development diary, and then we'll see what's next. But for today, that's it. Once again, I hope you like it, and thank you very much. See you next time. Goodbye.